Hey folks, and welcome. Happy to have you guys here. If you haven't already, think about hitting that like button. But anyways, today I want to talk about something very personal to each and every one of us, and that's setting and achieving goals, whether they be financial goals, whether they be for weight loss or fitness, whether they be, a wide range of things. Now we're talking about goals. Not those type of goals. Well, sort of those type of goals. But anyways, you get the idea. So one of the biggest things that I want to talk about this, or one of the biggest reasons I want to talk about this right now is, with everything that's going on, right now is a great time to reevaluate your goals. Things have kind of been thrown completely out of whack to start out 2020. And you may have set goals to start the year and they're completely ridiculous now, or there's no possible way for you to achieve them. That doesn't mean that you abandon those goals. It just means maybe you restructure those goals, you reevaluate those goals, and we're going to talk about how you can do all of that stuff. But I want to break goals down to a very, very simple structure that you can use to not only set goals, but achieve goals. So let's start by doing the simplest thing, and that's setting a goal. To set a goal, you basically just pick something that you want to achieve, a milestone or something you want to do in your life. And we're going to pick a very simple goal that breaks down into very simple structures. And what we're going to say is, I want to save $1,200 this year. It's a very modest goal. It's very simple, but it also breaks down very easily. And let me explain how that breaks down. So now we've set our goal. Now we're going to break that goal down. And when I say break it down, we're going to take and break it down to the smallest possible goal inside of that goal or milestone that we can. So $1,200 a year in savings means that I need to save $100 a month. Now we've broken it down one step. Now we're going to see, can we break it down further? Well, I get paid twice a month. So how do we break that down? So that $100 per month now breaks down to $50 per paycheck. Now for most of us, we think about that and it's like, wow, that's not that hard to achieve that. But when we look at just the end goal of $1,200, or what is I call the mountain, it can be very daunting to stand in front of the mountain, look at the very top of that mountain and say, I'm going to go to the top of that, without taking and saying, I'm going to take that first step. If you say, I'm going to take that first step, well, next thing you know, you take 10 steps, you take 20 steps, you take 30 steps, you're a portion of the way up the mountain. Whereas if you just are constantly focused on the end, you're going to have it's going to be daunting. You're going to have a very difficult time reaching that. Let's look at another goal, and let's say we're going to say, I want to get in shape. Well, that's a very broad spectrum goal, right? Because for each person, what getting in shape may look like may be different. For some people, getting in shape may mean, well, I want to drop that last 5 or 10 pounds. For somebody else, that may mean much, much larger goal. But one way to start that is to look at how I'm going to get into shape. So the next becomes the how. How am I going to achieve? We've set the goal. We've broken the goal down. Now we're going to say, how am I going to achieve it? If we go back to that first goal and we say that, the $1,200 per year, how am I going to achieve that? Well, how I'm going to achieve that is by, one, going to work or making more money, or I'm going to take on a side hustle and make that little bit extra money to put away to make that $1,200. Or I'm going to take and say, how am I going to do that? I'm going to cut out going to Starbucks, and I'm going to save that $5 a day, and that's going to then contribute to my, X number of dollars per month. So the how becomes very important. So if we look at the second goal we talked about, like getting in shape, we could say, okay, I'm going to walk or make sure that I move and increase my NEAT, which we can get into the definition of NEAT in a minute. But basically I'm going to make sure I take 10,000 steps per day. And so you say, okay, well, how am I going to do that? Okay, so when I get up in the morning and I'm waiting for my coffee to be made and I'm making my breakfast and I'm feeding the dogs, I'm just going to kind of walk around the living room. And, when I go to the grocery store, I'm going to park a little bit further away. And I'm going to take on my lunch break, I'm going to take and I'm going to go for a walk. Now, right now, for many of us, we're stuck at home. So this is the type of goal that should be very easy to achieve. Sit there and say, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning before I get my day started. I'm going to go for a half an hour walk. And then I'm going to do that again in the afternoon and get outside and get some fresh air and, not just be cooped up inside for many of us who are stuck inside. So setting these goals can really be very simply broken down into these smaller pieces. And if you say, 10,000 a day, well, it's not that hard to say, okay, well, I'm going to walk, 500 here or 500 there or 3,000 here or whatever. All of a sudden that starts to add up very quickly. You can do that with any goal, no matter what it is. And the smaller the pieces that you can break it down, the tinier the piece. So for example, one of my goals that I love to use as an example that I love to break down. So, the breaking down we talked about. When I break it down, I love to say, okay, I want to read, X number of books every single month. So what I always love to do is I take and I will say, for me, I read a lot when I'm looking at a computer all day when I'm working. And so I listen to a lot of books, audiobooks on Audible, which if you don't have an Audible account and you want one, there's a link down in the description below. And if you do use that to sign up for an Audible, you do get some free books and you also support the channel. But that's neither here nor there. But I listen to Audible books. And so what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to listen to, let's say, these 3 books this month. Or I say, I want to listen to 36 books a year. So that's 3 books a month. Then I go and at the beginning of the month, I say, okay, I'm going to listen to these 3 books this month. Then what I do is I look at how many total hours of listen time are in these books. And then I break those hours down by the number of days in the month. And I say, I need to listen to X number of hours per day. And then I literally will take, and in my day, I will schedule time for me to be able to listen to my audiobooks. And a lot of times I'll throw in my headphones when I'm working out. I go for 2 30-minute walks a day. When I'm on my walks, I listen to those books. So it's very easy to find ways to achieve your goals, but the best thing you can do to make this simple is to break them down into their smallest components. The smaller the component that you're able to break the goal or the milestone down into, the easier it is going to be for you to achieve them. So keep that in mind when you're setting your goals. And like I said, right now is a great time to look at all of your goals that you maybe set for the year and say, okay, it's time to hit the reset button. Let's reevaluate all these goals. Let's see how we're going to achieve them. And let's start writing them out. Let's start breaking them down into their smallest pieces. And then let's start scheduling those small pieces into each and every day of our lives. So I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're enjoying these videos and you want to see more, head on over to our channel. We have tons more on different subjects related to finance, investing, and personal growth. Also, don't forget, if you want to see more of these and right into your mailbox, in your email box, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that little ding, ding, ding bell icon to be notified every time I release a new video. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon.